Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm not bad. How about you?
Oh, yeah? It's not been a bad one. Big PlayStation news week, which the PlayStation fanboy in me gets a little bit giddy until it's a little bit lackluster. But anyway, what about you? Yeah, you been doing much?
Not really, no. Just, played some games and that's really it.
We live exciting
Uh,
lives, don't we?
we
Um,
do, we do. In this day and age, we do.
So we're checking in today because we got finally, after months of speculation at this point, the news that a lot of us had kind of expected to eventually drop, the PlayStation Spartacus, or basically the online the Game Pass equivalent. The news for that finally broke this week. Nintendo. So Sony revealed it. Nintendo revealed it. I guess I say Nintendo because it feels a lot like Nintendo's online in a few different ways, but
They all have baseball games on them.
well, they do now. So, or as of I don't know, 2 days.
They all have a PlayStation-owned baseball game on every console. There we go.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just trying to find the exact specifics in my inbox. I should have, as my computer's losing its shit over it. So sorry about all the background noise there, people. We learned a lot about what is now actually just PlayStation Plus. So they're bringing the old PlayStation Now, which we never even got over here in Australia, under the umbrella of PlayStation Plus. And there's a whole bunch of tiers for it, which was also stuff that had kind of been rumoured about. But now we kind of have the real specific details and we can kind of pick through all of them. Before we really dive into the finer details, what did you make it kind of a top level view?
Top level? I just looked at it and went, oh yeah, cool. It's the only reason I'm not overly excited about it yet is because all they did was show us 3 tiers. That's it.
4 depending on, every region's going to get 3.
Well, unless you're Australia, because we don't have a streaming.
Shitty.
We have shitty internet.
We do. Xbox has it, so it's the infrastructure is there. It's good enough in at least some parts of Australia. Like I've got 5G here. I could stream on my phone if I needed to. Sure, the data would get wiped out in no time, but I could do it.
It would be huge.
And my home internet's okay. Like I think we've discussed. I don't know if we've discussed this on the show previously, but like when I got to do my preview of Rainbow Six Extraction at the end of last year, that was streamed into my house and onto my computer, so I could play it that way. So this technology works here. Like even just on your, it's a pretty shitty NBN that I've got. Like it's NBN, but it's pretty basic sort of NBN over here. It worked. So PlayStation, you're underestimating us. But anyway,
I think it just gives them an excuse just to say no. We don't want to. It involves effort, and no on PlayStation. Anything that involves effort, they don't want to do it. We've said it in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They don't involve effort. We can't do it. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, that you've hit the nail on the head there. So yeah, we've got 3 tiers. I guess the most basic one that is basically what people have now. It's the regular old PlayStation Plus, which they've now dubbed PlayStation Plus Essential, but that is just the tier that everyone who has PlayStation Plus has right now. It's the basic level where you get your monthly games. 2 of them. They're being very specific to say 2. So currently, like if we look at this month's offerings, there's actually 3 games. So we seem to be getting less, unless it's just, I don't know, like they're still saying, you got 2 games, but they're crossing over between platforms and stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Because even this month we've got Hood, which is like the Robin Hood kind of multiplayer game. We've got SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle at Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and Slay the Spire, which is apparently amazing. Slay the Spire, but it's a card game, so fuck off. I don't want to deal with you. It's
great with the barrel.
It's a weaker month this month, but so presumably if they're going to dial it down to 2, then they're going to be 2 bangers every single month. But anyway, so you've got your 2 monthly downloadable games. You've got discounts. You've got cloud storage. You've got online multiplayer. Basically, there's no whatever you have PlayStation Plus now, it doesn't change.
One thing that Xbox keeps rubbing in with the whole cloud storage is that you don't need a subscription with them.
Yeah, true. You just need to still play
it's always in
online
brackets it's like cloud save. No subscription required. That is a Sony thing that would have been done in 2013.
Yeah.
That's a 2013 Sony thing. It's just, oh, here you go, thanks.
It's just that
There's
it's
your game.
in that particular case, it's just not a massive burn. Like, oh, we got cloud saves. Great. You know, I can't just pop that on a USB if I needed to.
And most people would even know they have cloud save anyway.
Yeah, I had. It was just Monday last week before I guess I nicked off for my wife's operation for a few days. I had a kid asking me about the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, just upload it. Like if you're concerned about losing your save games, just make sure it's all uploaded. Apparently, he was offloading a PS4 and trading in for a PS5 or something like that. Wanted to make sure his saves transferred across, and I was like, yeah, just before you do it, just pick any game, whatever the most recent game is, and just check that the cloud saves in the, press this and this and this, and you'll see it there. And if it's the same as what's saved on your console, you're good, and that'll be the same for everything. So don't worry about it. Trade it in at that point. So yeah, and the thing that's kind of stressed there is the pricing remains exactly the same. So whatever you're paying for PlayStation Plus now, whether it's a monthly amount or I'm having a bad one with all these P's and PLs and all
Plus. PlayStation Plus. Well, it's almost Plus. Let's just put it there for now.
So yeah, I'm having a bit of a mess with all these words, but yeah, the price remains the same as regular old PlayStation.
Just with the P's. Plus. Just with the P's.
Yeah, and lots of them. It's she shells by the seashore and all that sort of shit.
I nailed that.
Yeah, I did that well actually. It's because I take the piss out of it too often. That one. The next tier is PlayStation Plus Extra, quote unquote, which provides all the benefits of the essential tier and adds a catalogue of 400 with a little star next to it. 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games. Note, they're like the most enjoyable ones. They've determined that these 400 games are the best 400 games. You get them.
They have 400 enjoyable PS4.
Yeah, they must.
PS5 games.
Oh look, there's
some. What they're not doing like Spider-Man PS4.
No, it's there. No
Spider-Man PS5. No, I mean they're not doing the PS4 version, and then the PS5 version, then the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, there'll be a few of those. So you'll definitely get like Spider-Man PS4, and then the deluxe on PS5, and then you'll get Miles Morales PS4 and PS5. You get a few of those.
So two Last of Us games as well. We can put that in there.
Remastered and 2. Yep.
Two GTA 5 games as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think GTA 5 on the PS5 will be in there, but
oh no, wait, I was gonna say Uncharted.
Ghost of Tsushima, the normal and the director's cut.
The Uncharted.
Yeah,
they got a remake on the PS5, so there's.
Well, I mean, the whole wrinkle in all that thing is that you've also got the PlayStation Plus collection, which already exists. Remember the 20 games that they were kind of making available when you first got a PS5? Do you remember hearing about that? It was like, these are the best of the best, and like genuinely the best of the best from kind of third parties and our first party stuff. And so you get things like God of War, and you get I think you get Spider-Man, you get some of the other games they mentioned there, like Mortal Kombat 11. Returnal obviously wasn't in there. That's a PS5 game, but that's one that you're getting. So that game's only a year old and just got brand new DLC, and that's going to be in there. But yeah, the collection has Monster Hunter World's in there, and a whole bunch of other there's the best of Capcom stuff from last gen is all in there basically for free. An interesting one is Persona 5. Just in this same week, Persona 5 was one of those games, and it for some reason is falling off the list this week. It might be a licensing thing. Obviously, all the Xbox fans are going to be losing their shit because they think that Persona's finally coming across to Xbox. It won't be, because for whatever reason, Atlas seems to hate you. But yeah, look, I mean, 400 games with a star, and again, the most enjoyable, whatever that they've deemed to be the most enjoyable, is still like that's a very wide and very good selection. I mean, I even look just kind of behind here, and there's probably 100 PS4 games sitting on a shelf there. I reckon.
But are they enjoyable?
Well, I mean, the ones that I've bought, they're the ones that I've specifically bought. Most of them would be.
Is Fallout 76 in that pile?
Oh, yeah, I did say most of them.
99.
Fallout 76 would be in there, yeah. As would Fallout 4. So there's 2 off the list straight away. But most of them, I did say most.
Well, they're both Bethesda games, so that doesn't really count.
It doesn't even matter. They're probably not even going to be there. Bethesda, Microsoft won't allow. No, actually, Fallout 4's in the collection as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you can get that in the PlayStation Plus collection as things currently stand. So good on Bethesda for that before they got bought out. And the thing that they stress, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third parties, that makes sense. I wasn't expecting 400 first-party games. And gamers in the extra tier... games, there's a typo in the email here. Games in the extra tier are downloadable for play. So they had to stress that because when it comes to the... was it the premium? I think it's premium. Sorry, I'm looking at an email that's specific for Australia, so they don't even talk about the one that we don't get. I think it's the premium, PlayStation Plus Premium, where you get PS3 games at last, but they're being streamed to you. That's the only way that so far they've been able to get the whole backwards compatibility thing specifically with the PS3 working. They just cannot work out what they did with the PS3.
But they can get PS2 games and ancient technology called the PS1. Yeah, they can get that to work.
You can get PS1, PS2, PSP, which this is kind of spoiling the PlayStation Plus Deluxe tier. But yeah, but PS3 is to use the Damo phrase, the Great White Buffalo, that they just can't...
There's something that runs off an AV cable. They can get that working. But they can't get the Blu-ray running PS3 working. They can only stream it.
Yeah, they can't sort that one out. And look, it was always ass backwards at the time, and Bethesda was one of those companies that had a lot of issues with it, more than most back in the day. But yeah, anyway.
Maybe what Sony should do is put out an ad, like a big reward for someone that can do it.
Oh, I'm sure they've got the people to do it. I think it's what you said before.
Doesn't sound like
the effort. I think it's an effort thing. I just don't think they care enough. And they put hundreds of millions back into that company Gaikai all those years ago that ultimately got PlayStation Now up and running. And if you take away this PlayStation 3 streaming thing, there's no reason for them to exist anymore. Like, what was the point? So I think they're trying to justify it. It's bullshit to me, but anyway. But yeah, they stress that they're downloadable to play for that exact reason. But in the deluxe tier, which doesn't have a price out in Australia yet because it's somewhere in between the extra and the premium one that other parts of the world that do have the streaming capacities can get, because they're at least saying, hey, you can't get all the stuff, so we'll do it at a cheaper rate. The rate just hasn't been converted for Australia yet. It provides all the benefits of essential and extra tiers, includes a catalogue of beloved classic games from the original PlayStation, PS2 and PSP generations to download
not the
and play.
Best, just beloved ones. Not just the best,
ones. No,
just beloved ones.
Not the most enjoyable ones, no.
No? Just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just not that good, I guess. I wouldn't rule out the possibility that they're just the games that are on PlayStation Now that people can stream to their PS4s and whatever anyway. That they're just... That's them. Like, just copy-paste all the stuff from this bad boy, the PlayStation Classic. There's all your PS1 games, just boom.
I say, hopefully they learned their lesson from that and just... Oh, hey, we've got all these great PS1 games. Let's just put all the ones that no one's ever heard of.
Look, hopefully the games they put on there actually require analog sticks. That'd be a good starting point if you want to improve what you had before.
As long as it has Shane Warne cricket,
you need to now.
We're set.
It needs to have Shane Warne cricket now.
Shane Warne cricket and Croc. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And if Damo was here, we'll chuck in Gex as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Gex belongs on there.
And
I've got all those Gex games on the Vita.
And Siphon Filter, so we could all go around and set people on fire with the zappy thing.
Well, that too.
As we call it. See, there's some fun, enjoyable games you can put on your list there, Sony. Add them in.
Yeah, and put Soul Reaver and a whole bunch of other cool stuff in there as well. But the final point they make also is that time-limited oh, geez, there's typos in the email now. Time-limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy.
But did they get
I'm not going to... This was an email that was sent to me...
They get the primary school kids to write this for them. They run it out of people, are they?
I won't name names as to who provided the email to me, but...
See, when a maths teacher's pointed out all the typos, that's generally a bad thing in my eyes.
Usually, except that I'm... Yeah.
Yes, well, someone that does right. But usually when a maths teacher's
it's usually not a good thing.
English, it's not a good thing.
Stick to your numbers, dork. But no, this numbers dork can do words too.
You learn right good, and I'll do numbers.
Exactly. Gooder than you arsehole. So one of the things that... Yeah, I mean, we don't know the price for that one yet, but it seems like it's it's going to be cheaper than whatever the premium is in the US, which before you factor in Australia tax works out to be like $24 a month, the premium. So I'm guessing it might land at about 20, potentially. I don't know. That cost at $20 a month works out to be more expensive than what people pay for Game Pass.
And these are the same people that have been having a dear Game Pass for all these years.
But the but was in the monthly, like the monthly price is outrageous. But now we can only base this on US dollars. In US dollars, and I'm going to use the premium because that is the most expensive one. The difference with Game Pass is that you can only pay monthly. That's it.
It's true.
You've got your $15 a month and that's it. When it comes to PlayStation, they do offer the yearly option. Now, we're going to have to use US dollars for a second, but they charge $18 a month for obviously 12 months. That works out to be $216 US dollars. But if you pay yearly, it's $120 US dollars.
Whoa.
So you save $8
a month.
Yeah, you pay $10 a month. It's actually cheaper than Game Pass when you go the yearly thing. It's just that can people afford in US dollars to spend $120, $120 in one fell swoop? That might be a bit harder. That's the cost of 2 games in the US. But
as I say, that's the cost of one game in Australia. $120.
But it works out, if you just do a direct comparison, again, no Australia tax, that sort of thing, it works out to be $171 for the year, which is cheaper than Game Pass. Game Pass is 15 by 12, gives you 180. So, you'd imagine the Australia tax comes in, they might end up being about the same price. Like a year of PlayStation Plus Premium or Deluxe, again, keep in mind, we'll get a cheaper option. Will be the same as paying for Game Pass, or just a bit less than Game Pass for an entire year as well. So it seems like price-wise, I think people have gotten a little bit carried away at first. It's a cheaper option. It's still probably a lesser option. Again, the PS3 thing is a big issue. The range of games probably isn't as great, and it's just going to take a little while for them to get some traction going, like with the service in the first place. At those high tiers, I should say. But
the other thing is too, there's been no talk of it. I don't know. Day one releases.
Yeah, they're being real cagey about that. Certainly their first party stuff isn't going to be day one. I think the best thing we can do is kind of project from the fact that Returnal is going to be in there. So Returnal is about a year old now. And by the time the service comes out in June, it's going to be there day one. So I guess if we want to use that as a point of reference, then a year and 3 months. By that stage, the games will be in there. Maybe it's after a year. Maybe it'll be a calendar year and boom, it goes in there or something like that. But at the moment, all we've got to work with is a year and 3 months, and presumably God of War Ragnarok will be in there, or Spider-Man 2 will be in there a year and a quarter after whatever. Don't know what it ends up being. Those games. Forspoken later in the year, even though it's not a first-party thing, it's an exclusive. Yeah. Maybe that pops in there after a while. But yeah, there's a lot they've got to answer when it comes to that. You're right. That's something they're not really talking about at all. But our mate Jim Ryan had a bit to say about.
Hey! Don't bring me into your mate situation here. Your mate.
I'm
your love for old Jim.
I'm trying to find.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
The interview that he did.
There was something he said that. Something about if games were on day one release, it was some rubbish.
It is like. Oh, here we go. So this is in reference to the fact that the first party games are coming day and date. And I actually I understand the reasoning. They're not Microsoft. They're not as cashed up. They can't afford to just here, take it, whatever, and we'll make our subscription money. It's fine. Like they make all their money back on Windows. The PlayStation is Sony's number one business these days. But anyway, this is not a road we've gone down in the past, and it's not a road we're going down with the new service. Now, some later comments kind of he ends up leaving the door open because, I guess if things trend towards Xbox and everyone keeps favoring Xbox, then they'll pull the trigger and go, fine, okay, you can have the next, everything day and date going forward. I'm fairly sure that's the logic there. But the wanky language. We feel that if we were to do that with the games that we make at PlayStation Studios, that virtuous cycle, because they're just so much better than everyone else, that virtuous cycle will be broken. The level of investment that we need to make in our studios would not be possible, and we think the knock-on effect and the quality of the games that we make would not be something that gamers want. And that, the last bit, sure, that makes sense. Like if if you're going to be losing money, or the fact that you can't make as much money is then what prevents you from investing to make your next game better, I get that. But virtuous cycle, take that bullshit out. Ethic bullshit.
So does that explain why we haven't seen the Xbox games then? Because there's day one release stuff. Companies.
Wait, go again.
Nothing.
Oh, is that why the
Xbox?
Wait, what?
It's just what you said, like, because if the games don't do well and all this stuff, and you have virtual whatever.
Virtuous cycle. Yeah.
Just say.
Basically his point is that like the games that we make, and he doesn't. It's not even a backhanded thing at Xbox, but he just says the games that we make wouldn't be as good as they are, or I guess the next game can't be as good as you'd want it to be or expect it to be, if we're giving these games to everyone day and date on PlayStation Plus, because they'll make less money that way than they would by selling it for, let's say, a year or a year and 3 months or whatever it ends up being, and then putting it on the service. So they make more money in that first year than they would from their for each whatever games they release in a year than they would from the PlayStation Plus subscriptions. Which I get it makes sense, but yeah, it's just that wanky sort of bullshit language and kind of elitist sort of thing that gives me the shits. Yes, I think PlayStation Studios games are better than most others, but you are that company. You need to show a bit of modesty. I don't know. Don't be an arrogant prick at the same time. I almost can't, like you might recall on the show recently, I almost had some good things to say about Jim Ryan recently. I was starting to warm up to him a little bit, and then he goes and pulls this bullshit. Where are we? Does he use I know he referenced it again. Oh yeah. Who would have even seen 4 years ago? Sorry, who would have seen even 4 years ago that you would see AAA PlayStation IP being on PC? He responded referencing God of War and Horizon. Like, fuck
two
off.
games.
Two games. And there's Days Gone was it Death Stranding as well. Death Stranding as well, yeah. But that's not even published by Sony.
Well, there you go. And then Days Gone, let's be honest, is not going to get a sequel, so...
No.
Why does it matter?
So...
And Kojima, well, Kojima just does what he feels like.
It sounds like he's with Xbox still, so we'll see what happens. But anyway. So yeah, the language around it's a little bit shit. I don't like the way he's kind of preaching that. But
well, it sounds like Jim doesn't even know what's going on. He's just gone, right, let's do 3 things. Just do this, this, and this. If anyone asks questions, I'll come up with some gibberish and confuse everyone with our virtual whatever it is.
Virtuous cycle.
Virtuous cycle. Just use really fancy words and people get confused and just go, yeah, cool, whatever.
Look, in more important news when it comes to this whole PlayStation Plus service that's coming, in the same week as this occurring, they also re-registered the trademark for NAC. Now, if you want to sell PlayStation Plus subscriptions, our Lord and Savior NAC being there day one, that's how you do it. I assume you're aware of the
NAC?
NAC? You better Google NAC right now.
NAC or NAC?
NAC. K-N-A-C-K.
K-N-A-C.
I can't believe you don't know NAC.
If I see it. Well, I think I do remember that.
NAC's a meme. He's to the point, yeah, like he's our Lord and Savior at PlayStation.
Wait, are we looking at the game here? We found a game called NAC.
Yeah, it's a game called NAC. Yeah, but he's our Lord and Savior.
Oh.
Yeah. He's all things that make PlayStation great.
Oh, okay.
No, I guess the history of NAC, like he was very much like a demo project of sorts for the PS4 when it first came out, because like when he'd get killed, he would just explode into millions of little shards and fragments, and it would look fantastic, particles and all that. Then they did a sequel, which was also pretty mediocre, and people just take the piss out of NAC, and so it's become a thing.
Well, I say if they want people to purchase the tier, there is this game that was called PT.
Oh, yeah. Your demos, right? Just put PT on the demo side.
Yeah.
We worked with Konami and it's back. No, you're not going to get a final game out of it, but here you go. PT is back.
Here you go. Here's the demo again.
People would lose their shit. That would actually... You're onto something there. People would go nuts for the PT demo and people would be subscribing en masse.
It's just bring stuff back that Sony did have going, and then it just magically disappeared, like their abandoned whatever the abandoned thing was.
Holy shit.
No one knows what abandoned is anymore.
I'm going to send you a link to something after this. There was an interview with the guy who... So Colin Moriarty, Sacred Symbols and all that, he got an interview with the guy and it went live on podcast services and YouTube today. And holy shit, that guy is lying through his teeth the entire time. It's just it's unreal. Like you'll have to sit back and listen to it. It's about an hour long, but it's worth every second of it. This game is a train wreck. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. He's lying to everyone. It's gonna be amazing.
Let's not put abandoned.
No, let's not put abandoned there.
Because otherwise it will get abandoned. What about, I don't know what you put on there, to convince people besides PT?
There was the old Rockstar game. What was it called? Oh shit. No, I've gone blank on
Rockstar.
Yeah, it was a Rockstar game that they were working on back in the days of...
Wasn't that Outcast or whatever it was? The one that got banned everywhere. Wasn't that one?
Why is it not coming to me? Like, just the game.
Bully?
No, it wasn't Bully.
Oh.
It was a PS3 game that they were working on. Let's see if I can search like that.
I do remember of a Rockstar game that got banned.
Agent's the one, because it was the one that was kind of like an apology for GTA 4 being kind of mainly on the Xbox and all that. It was, well, not an apology, it was like a deal that PlayStation struck. Like, sure, you can go multiplayer, sure, you can, do a marketing deal with them, but we get the next game out of you. And they announced it, and then it never emerged.
Oh no, I think of Postal. That was the game.
Oh yeah, definitely not Postal.
No.
So yeah, that was kind of that one. So
I say, surely there's some other unfinished projects that Sony could just throw up there to convince people that they've got their hopes up on, and then just say, nah, sorry.
Well, people lost their shit for the Super Nintendo Classic because it had that Star Fox 2, unreleased Star Fox 2 on it. Like, you're right, you could do stuff like that, these unreleased things that maybe falls in that demo stuff, or you get in this premium/deluxe tier that people would be going crazy for. And the reality of these services, and it's the same with Netflix and all those sort of things, is once you subscribe, they've pretty much got you, because you tend to forget about them.
Oh yeah, I do it every year because they say, oh, your Disney Plus subscription's been renewed. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I've been subscribed to Disney Plus for 9 months now, and I don't think I've watched anything on it yet. And that's despite me being a Star Wars fan. Like, I just haven't gotten around to them, so I'm just paying for nothing at the moment.
You're missing out.
Yeah, no, I still like
Star Wars content.
You've heard me when it comes to The Mandalorian. Like, I still haven't seen season 2 yet, and that gives me the shits. I think I'm one episode in, and then that's it. And I think I watched that on Disney Plus, and then I never got back to it. So,
you're missing out on a good time.
Not to mention, obviously, there's
Obi-Wan,
Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan's coming. Like, all this amazing Star Wars stuff, and I haven't spent a cent, but they've got me. And now it's just snowballing like all the Marvel movies, and so I'm going to get myself into a point like, I can't fucking catch up, but I'll still keep paying Disney Plus in the meantime. And that's what they're banking on. It's like you subscribe and then you forget about them.
But I think it's because also, like you said, because mine's a yearly subscription, so I kind of forget about it until the next year. And then he said, oh, your subscription's
$150 came out. What?
Like, oh, cool. Like, oh yeah, whatever, cool.
I'll deal with that before the next year's done, and then you forget about it.
It's like, oh yeah, I better fix that next year. It's there again. I'll fix it next year, and then the cycle continues.
As a society, we're doomed. There's nothing else to it.
I know. It could take all of 2 seconds, but I'm just like, whatever, and move on.
Any other thoughts on the PlayStation Plus, the subscription that's coming in June? Nothing official yet, no date. Nothing, as you mentioned, about the specific games yet, but anything else you wanted to add about the whole thing?
Well, at this point in time, I'm not really too sold on it yet. It's just nothing says like I want to purchase that. It's just, hey, we supposedly got 400 quality games, and
that's the thing. There needs to be more info. Like there's the games. That's the thing that's missing from
You just put up a number and said, just like, what do you think would get people excited? How many? 400. Done. Type it in.
Yeah. Now what are they going to be? I don't know. We'll talk to people later.
Like, Like, do we have 400 games? I will worry about that later.
Oh, look, you throw the indie stuff in there and you're off to a good start. But
then if you don't have 400 quality games, you're in trouble.
I wonder if there's something on the internet that says how many games are on Game Pass.
There's about 500, I reckon.
Really? Okay, so they're like...
I did a count once.
You did a... Holy shit.
It was about 400, but it could be added. Because every week, I swear there's like another game in there I haven't seen before. But at the same time, there are a lot of games. So I might have gone past it 20 times and just not noticed it. But you never know.
Oh, no, that's 2020. There was 354 back in December of 2020.
Oh, I think it's gone bigger.
Yeah, it's definitely gone up. There's a whole
So
year, whole year worth of games that have come out.
No one's updated since 2020. Although it's just...
Yeah, I don't think anyone's keeping count. It's getting out of control. Until Xbox puts out an official release that says, we've got this many. No one cares.
Because PlayStation people say, oh, but we get 2 free games a month.
And look, they're usually good free games. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, most of the time. There's occasionally the rubbish month, and everyone gets angry and go, well, we're about to pull that down, put some better games up.
Yeah, we'll put something good next month. Yeah, I reckon that's about it for that conversation. Again, there's a lot, we don't know, from the price for the deluxe version out here to the actual games from the PS4 and PS5, but also the PS1, 2, and PSP stuff that's going to be there. We don't know yet. And I guess that is the other thing. When you add those games in there, there's apparently about 700 games all up. So
if it's somehow still worse than Nintendo Switch online...
Well, actually, that's the other thing. I reckon they've looked pretty closely at that. Like, Xbox is just giving you, here's your subscription. You just get everything. The backwards compatibility stuff falls under that umbrella. You get the lot. Whereas here, they've taken the approach that Nintendo has. When they added the 64 and the Genesis and they upped the price as a result. Well, they're doing an equivalent sort of thing here. You want the retro stuff? Yeah, you got to pay a premium for it.
But there's Sony have 48 new Mario Kart tracks coming?
Yeah.
No,
they don't have that.
No, they don't. No, they'll just have Crash Team Racing instead. Everyone's just going to be disappointed.
Because Crash Team Racing shit. I know I'm in a minority there, but it's shit.
When you got better racing games around, sorry Crash, you're just not up to it.
There's Mario Kart. Go play it.
Even the old free Disney racing game seems better.
Yeah, actually, look, you could be right. I really hated CTR back in the day, and then I hated it again when they put it on, when they remastered it and rebanned it the other year. So no saving CTR. Well, I reckon we'll wrap things up for that. I'm going to throw a couple quick things at you. Because of some other rumors, very, very brief. Like, this is going to take us 2 rapid fire questions for you. There was a whole bunch of reporting spurred on by a Greg Miller tweet about 3 possible things going on for the week. The word from Greg is one of them related to PSVR 2. So my one question for you is it going to come out this year? Yes or no?
Which one?
PSVR 2.
Oh. Yeah, sure. Let's say Christmas.
Yep,
Christmas time.
I'd agree with you that it'll be out this year.
Holiday.
I think they're getting all their PSVR stuff out now. That's why we've just seen Moss 2 come out. Which I've got a code for, thanks to the team. I'll report on that when we get to our updates next. But yeah, I think that's why all the last of the original PSVR games are all starting to flood out now, is because they need to clear the decks. And the other thing is the other big rumor out of it is that there's apparently a big acquisition in there. Throw a name at me.
Xbox mini fridge. No, not really. They buy all of them.
All the
big acquisition. Fridges. So they say, who's left? Let's say Capcom, because they seem to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking publisher level as well. I'm thinking Warner Brothers.
Oh,
I'm thinking it's that. If you're Sony, and I've said this on the show before, if you're Sony, that's real tempting because of all the franchises you get.
Yes.
The studios may not be that great. There's obviously a few really good ones. You get Mortal Kombat and stuff in there as well, but
maybe Sony could actually make a more exciting Shadow of Mordor game, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. The Middle Earth games, yeah. You've got that. You've got the DC license. Batman. You've got Batman. You've got Harry Potter.
Maybe they can also make a good Superman game.
No, let's leave. Nothing's going to get better than Superman 64. Let's leave that one there.
The top level.
It's the peak. It's the pinnacle of games. That and Bubsy 3D. All right, we'll wrap things up there. If you enjoyed this episode of Patched, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched, Patched Player 2 Plays. I keep forgetting what I was doing. I've got my mind on what I'm doing next already. Player 2 Plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Awesome stuff there. Please subscribe and go and check it out. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, links to the podcast series Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. On the Patched side, heaps of review discussions in the last couple of weeks, so make sure to check all those out as well around these episodes. If you are watching on YouTube, go subscribe to the Patch podcast feed as well. 5-star reviews and all that sort of stuff. It's awesome. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers, early access, higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives, and Twitter, Matto.
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for me. The website is player2au, and until next week, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you later. Get your P words right.
P words.